everybody, CR Media Gal here, also known as Andrea. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a bit of a different video for you, something a little more personal that I'm going to be sharing, and that is all about my newest tattoo, which was done in memorial to my senior German Shepherd, Ace, who I lost back in November of 2021. It was a bit of a spontaneous tattoo, but at the same time, I knew going back years ago that I wanted to get some kind of tattoo for Ace at some point. I just didn't think it would be after he passed, but sometimes that's just how the universe works. I did put together some clips of the first 5 days that I was also healing this tattoo. It's a method that's been around for a while, but for me personally was my first time doing it, and that is with Saniderm/Tigerderm. And the reason that I will be referring to both in this video is because to this day, I'm not sure which method my tattoo artist used, but they work very similarly. To my understanding, at least from some of the videos that I've watched here on YouTube, people that use Saniderm to heal their tattoos often have to remove it after the first 24 hours and put fresh Saniderm tape on. I didn't have to do that, but then every tattoo artist is different, and it's very important to follow your tattoo artist's advice. This was what my tattoo artist recommended, so I thought I would document the process. I will put timestamps down in the description for you if you want to jump around. Maybe you just want to know the idea behind the tattoo, or who the artist was, or how I healed it. Everything will be down in the description box for you, including details about my tattoo artist. However, before we get started, I want to preface this video by saying, if you don't like tattoos, please click off this video. This video is clearly not for you. I don't think anybody has any business having opinions about tattoos on other people's body. It's on their body. It literally does not affect your life. I mean, unless somebody's walking around with a swastika tattoo, then yeah. Otherwise, please be respectful in the comments if you want to say something about my tattoo, because I will have somebody monitoring the comments, and if you don't have anything nice to say, then it begs the question why you're even here. But yeah, I just wanted to get that out of the way because it's the internet and everybody seems to have an opinion. It doesn't mean that everybody has to have an opinion when it comes to something as personal as this. And that doesn't just go for my tattoo, that goes for anybody with tattoos. So if you're interested in learning more all about my Ace tattoo, then stay tuned. So we're going to jump right into the healing process first, and then I will come back afterwards and talk about the tattoo more in detail. So it's been about 3 hours since I had my tattoo. I'm feeling pretty exhausted right now. The tattoo is hella bigger than I thought it was gonna be. You know, my fox tattoo is a decent size, but it's not huge, and I thought this tattoo might be a little bit bigger than that, but we ended up going, because of the placement, with a much larger tattoo than I was anticipating. So altogether it took about 4.5 hours roughly. Just feeling very drained and really tired. My tattoo feels what is usually pretty typical after having a massive tattoo done. It feels like a really bad sunburn. I'm a little bit sore. And she put Saniderm on, which I've never used before. So I thought I would document my experience using Saniderm for the first time. My artist wants me to keep it on for 5 days. Fingers crossed that I don't have any kind of a reaction. Let me show you what it's looking like. There's my new tattoo of Ace. I love it. There are some bubbles in there, and she told me that was normal. She told me that tomorrow I'll probably have plasma and fluid, and that's completely normal as well. So I have a feeling tomorrow it's gonna look pretty gnarly. I'm actually really excited to try this method out. If it works out well, I might not ever want to go back to having to heal them the regular way like I did with my fox and this little quote tattoo, which that was no big deal at all. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. It's gonna take some getting used to though. Every time I look at it, I'm just like, oh, it's so big. I hope I don't come to regret that. I don't think I will, because I mean, it's my boy. Like, at the end of the day, I'm just happy to have him on my arm. I will check in with you guys tomorrow. Hey guys, it's been officially about 24 hours now, so I thought I would check in with you guys. And yes, I'm wearing the same garments from yesterday. Maybe tomorrow you'll see me look a little more put together. I've stuck close to home just because I'm like really just tired today. I slept really well last night, but I was still up by like 6-ish. Wanted to show you how we're looking 24 hours in. The tattoo itself is feeling perfectly fine. The Saniderm is still very much in place. And I actually should have said this at the beginning. I'm not sure if what I've got on is Saniderm or Tegaderm. They're both very similar products. At the end of getting tattooed, she asked me if I'd ever done Saniderm or Tegaderm treatment for healing a tattoo before, and I said no. And she started putting this stuff on me while explaining process of what I needed to do, but she didn't specify whether it was Saniderm or Tegaderm, but I think they work very, very similarly. But so far, it's very much staying in place. I can move and do things normally, and I actually don't ever even think about it, which is kind of wild. I expected this to be like, honestly, looking pretty yucky. It doesn't. It looks exactly like it did yesterday. So, yeah, we'll see. I'm getting used to how big he is. It's still gonna take some time, don't get me wrong, but I'm getting used to it. He's looking beautiful. He's so handsome. That's my boy. It's my boy. So yeah, I will check in with you guys on day 3. Oh, this is such a flattering angle. Hey guys, sorry, I'm getting ready while I'm talking to you guys. I'm about to go to my nephew's birthday party, so I gotta kind of make this quick. It's still going pretty well. Did take a shower. Obviously, I still have this barrier on there, but I just lightly soaped it up with, you know, non-scented soap just in case. Today, it might feel a tiny bit itchy at times, but it's really like barely there kind of a deal. I can tell that it's starting to dry out a little bit too. So let me see if I can like finagle my arm in a way that
won't get me flagged by YouTube.
There we go. Around his nose, it might be tough to see, but I can tell it's getting like a little bit dry there. Otherwise, the Saniderm or Tegaderm, whatever it's called, is staying in place and hasn't been an issue. I know some people's skin reacts to this stuff pretty badly, and my skin's been fine. Like, I'm not developing a rash or anything, so knock on wood that doesn't happen. But yeah, I will check in with you guys sometime tomorrow. Let you know if there's anything to report. Hey everybody, I've looked better, but I've also looked worse, so we're just gonna roll with it. It's pretty late the following day. I was just busy editing a video all day and then cleaning as well, so this was like the earliest opportunity I had to sit down and update you guys. The only update I'd say is my arm has a really weird, like moist, almost sticky sort of feel to it since I took a shower. And I've taken another shower tonight and it's the same sort of deal. Like my arm still feels wet, which is weird because Saniderm or Tegaderm or whatever the heck it is on there. Like it's on there. The only thing is now, like when I move my arm around, it definitely feels, you know, I know it's on there. Yeah, it's just a weird feeling. And I haven't had any sort of reaction to it. Like my skin is tolerating this. But anyway, I wanted to update you guys on the latest. Sorry that I don't have more lively developments for you, but this is just my experience and my reality right now. So I will check in again with you guys tomorrow. Hey everyone, it's officially day 5, the last day. And I gotta tell you, today is the first day that I have been desperate to get this off me. It started last night, and then when I woke up this morning, and ever since then, it's been so itchy. So I think we're finally in maybe the peeling stage. I'm anxious to get this off. I've just done a quick workout. I'm a sweaty mess, so I'm just gonna plan on taking this out now in the shower. There's no easy way for me to actually show you the process of removing this because I really concentrate and take my time taking this off. So I will show you what it's looking like immediately out of the shower and how the process went. Fingers crossed. I'm a little nervous. So here was how my tattoo was looking directly out of the shower. As you can see, it's pretty dry. There's a bit of a sheen to it that's completely normal. Took about 2 minutes to take the Saniderm off. I just made sure to take my time so as not to rip any of the ink out. So then to heal my tattoo, I use Cetaphil moisturizer twice a day. And this is pretty universally known. I'm pretty sure any tattoo artist will tell you that you should moisturize your tattoo, but you should definitely not drown it in moisturizer. You know, your tattoo needs to breathe as it heals. Also, make sure that the moisturizer is non-scented. That's really, really, really important because scented moisturizers can irritate your skin. So that was a bit of how I healed this tattoo using Saniderm / Tegaderm.
Whichever.
I am a converter. I loved this method. It was just so easy to go about my day and literally not have to worry about potentially scratching it unconsciously or bumping into something or, you know, the first night sleeping on my sheets with a fresh tattoo. That's always a bit yucky. So it worked well for me. By day 5, I was ready to get it off and I entered the peeling and really itchy phase, which is always the worst of healing a tattoo. A month later, it was completely healed up and I didn't have any issues. So backing up to how I came about getting this tattoo. Some of you may not know the story, but I did adopt a German Shepherd named Ace from my local Humane League roughly 11 years ago. And at the time they told me he was approximately 2 years old. So assuming that that number is correct, he was roughly 13 when he passed away. He passed on November 8th. It was rather sudden, but he was old. It was really a matter of time. I thought he would make it through the holidays. I really was still not anticipating it, but you know, I'm not gonna go into detail about it. But he passed on November 8th, and by November 10th or 11th, I was contacting a tattoo shop to get a memorialized tattoo of Ace. When it came to choosing a tattoo artist, there is a female tattoo artist that I have been following locally, and her handle is right up here. She goes by Jasmine, and I've been following her work on Instagram for several years. And what really intrigued me about her shop, and I knew at some point whenever I did get my next tattoo, at this point I didn't know what it was going to be because it's an all-female tattoo shop. It's the only one here locally, and I just really loved that idea of being tattooed in the future by a female tattoo artist. And I'm sure some people who don't have a ton of tattoos can probably relate to this. Even though I've been through this process 3 times, it's always a little intimidating being tattooed. That's just how I feel personally. So it was a little easier to me, the idea of going to a female tattoo artist next time. Not that there was anything wrong with the male tattoo artist who did my first 2 tattoos. He was really professional, he was really nice, and I would go back to him again. I think his work is terrific. It's just, especially for what I ended up going for, a memorial tattoo, it was a little more comforting, the idea of going to a female tattoo artist. But anyway, I really thought that Jasmine would be the tattoo artist who would do my next tattoo. But at the time that Ace passed and I was looking around to get this tattoo done, she was completely booked. So I actually ended up DMing her and saying, look, you know, my dog just died. I would like to get this tattoo done. Is there anybody else at your shop who you would recommend who does a similar style to yours? And that's how I stumbled across Patrice. instantly felt loads better about getting tattooed by someone other than Jasmine because I love Patrice's work. She is a phenomenal artist and I cannot recommend her enough. Again, her deets will be down in the description box. So I ended up emailing Patrice. She got back to me right away. I sent her a bunch of pictures of Ace and kind of explained the general idea that I wanted for this tattoo. I knew I wanted it to be realistic. I wanted to incorporate his name, and he loved the outdoors. He especially loved strolling the stream behind our house. He could spend hours out there. So I knew I wanted to incorporate like a wreath of some kind. The only thing that I was really specific about that I told Patrice that I didn't want was flowers. I just didn't want that. I told her I would rather have sort of like woodsy, like with pine and berries and whatnot, and that's exactly what she came up with. When I showed up for the tattoo, I originally had 2 spots in mind. One of them was my inner arm here. Another area that I thought might work well was the outside of my lower left arm. She had 2 different sizes of the tattoo, and I really thought initially I was not gonna get a tattoo this size because as you can see here, it's quite big. But any which way we tried placing the smaller version on my arm, whether here or down here, it just didn't look right. It just didn't fit my body right. And I trust the tattoo artist that I'm going to, that they know what placement is going to work best. And so we tried the larger one that we ended up with, but of course it really didn't fit in this area, didn't really fit down here. This was really the right place to put it. I actually had something else in mind for a tattoo here. That ended up being what worked best, and I love the placement. Altogether, it took about 4.5 hours start to finish. The pain level, I'd say maybe a 6. I didn't think it was too bad. Like, there were definitely some areas when she went in to do a lot of the shading that was pretty spicy. But I mean, overall, I was able to sit through it just fine. I'd say maybe around like the 4-hour mark, I was starting to feel kind of drained and pretty tired. She worked really fast. She was really gentle with me too. And I just think it's so beautiful. So as you can see here, it wraps around my entire arm. It's a huge, for me anyway, it's my biggest tattoo. Totally captured his face so well. This is from a direct picture that I gave her. You can see there's some leaves and some berries that wrap around him, and then a beautiful free font that she did of his name. I love that you can see it from all angles. Like when it's even just down at my side, you kind of get a peek of his ear and his eyes and his nose. But if you look at it from the back too, you get one ear sticking out, but then this beautiful wreath. I just think it's so beautiful and so touching, and I love that every time I catch a glimpse of it, whether it's in my mirror or looking down at it, it's a reminder that he's always with me. I don't have kids, so he was it. He was my fur baby. He was my everything. And not to sound corny, but this dog really did change my life. Made me a better human in a lot of ways. He taught me so many things, and I'm grateful that I was his human for 11 years. It just felt right to do something in honor of him. And I gotta say, everywhere I go, if anybody catches a glimpse of it, they always ask about it. I can't thank Patrice enough. She was so kind, really just gentle and thoughtful about the whole thing. And I'm sure I will definitely be going back to her in the future for another tattoo, because I have so many more tattoos that I want, guys. I'm just one of those people that I think about it way too much. It takes me forever to come to a decision. This was the most spontaneous I've ever been with getting a tattoo. It was like as soon as he passed, I thought, no more wasting time. So less than a month later, I was getting this tattooed, and no regrets. I hope you enjoyed this a little more personal video of mine. Please be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you did, I'd really appreciate it. If you have any questions about the process of getting a tattoo this size, or anything about Ace in particular, or my own experience, feel free to leave your questions down in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe below if you would like to see more content from me. I do a lot of different content on this channel, and I'd love to have you here. I I hope you are all doing well wherever you are, and I will see you guys again soon. Bye. Hey, nope. Okay, I'm not gonna go into that.
See the shade.